Have you experienced chronic anxiety in your life? Have you been told that you're too sensitive, or do you ever feel like you're too sensitive? Do you wish you weren't so sensitive? Or do you just feel like you belong in a gentler world? If that's the case, then this video is for you, because we are going to, hopefully this video, my purpose of this video is just to help you feel better if you are feeling anxious, remind you of things that you need to know or that you probably have forgotten if you are feeling anxious. My name is Elizabeth Cermak. I'm a spiritual coach and psychotherapist here to talk about bringing the vertical into this world. And this is Prudence. You can see her. She's not having any anxiety right now. So she's joining us in the video today. But I thought we'd kind of hang out today and talk about how to feel better if we're feeling anxious. And what I actually did was I went through A Course in Miracles. So this is really the spiritual answer to anxiety. You know, our sensitivities. I was told as a kid, my teachers, I think it was my principal or a teacher of mine, told my mom that I needed to get a thicker crust, that I was too sensitive. I felt like I was too sensitive. I really believe that the sensitivity is it is a gift. It just doesn't necessarily feel like a gift. Most of my clients are sensitive, you know, so we're always working on this feeling like a blessing and not a curse, because sometimes it can really feel like a curse, right? But it is a blessing. Our sensitivity is a blessing. It just requires some boundaries. It requires some physical boundaries. It requires some emotional boundaries, some attitudinal boundaries. And I hope that this video, it's going to remind you of the truth, which is that there is nothing to fear. And what I did was I actually just went through A Course in Miracles. I just did it. I went through all the lessons of A Course in Miracles. There's 365 lessons, one for every day of the year. Anything that applied to anxiety, that seemed like it directly applied to anxiety, I wrote down. So I want to read you the lessons from A Course in Miracles today. Just listen to this, just to remind you of what you already know, remind you of who you are, since we are here to bring the vertical dimension into this world, right? We are here. If we crave a gentler world, then we're here to create that gentler world, and that we are creating the gentler world, right? So let's just read through these lessons, just listen to them. And I want you to, this is your homework. I'm giving you homework today. Right below, comment below on what lesson is your favorite. What lesson calls to you? What lessons you want to remember? Because it's like a declaration to the universe, right? So right below, what is your favorite lesson? And actually writing it out will help you remember it, right? I'm always writing things out so I remember them. So write it out below. What is your favorite lesson? You could even write why. What is your favorite lesson and why? Or just write your favorite one. Just write the words of it, okay? So that will help you to embody it. What lesson do you want to embody? Okay. So, A Course in Miracles. Okay, let's start. The first one that I wrote down was lesson 34. And I've talked about a lot of these in my other videos, but if I haven't talked about all of them. So maybe this is something to go through and read these lessons, you know, if that's something you would like me to do. Always, if you have any questions for me, if you have any struggles or something, a topic you would like me to cover, please write below and tell me that too. If there's a lesson that you would like me to go deeper into, let me know. Okay, so we're going to start with lesson 44. I could see peace instead of this. I know that I have a video on I could see peace instead of this. And maybe what I should do is put a link to any video that I have on that lesson. If I have it made of that lesson, I'll put a link to it right here. A video card to it. Okay, so I could see peace instead of this. Lesson 34. There is nothing to fear. Lesson 43. I know I did a video on that too. Light and joy and peace abide in me. Lesson 93. God's peace and joy are mine. Lesson 105. I rest in God. Lesson 109. Is it too distracting for me to say the numbers of the lessons afterwards? Okay, it might be too distracting. I'm not going to cut that part out, but we're going to keep that part in. But I'll read it again, but I'm not going to say the number of the lesson. You just know that these are all lessons from A Course in Miracles, and they're going in order. So it's like 34, 43, 93. I picked out the ones that are specifically for anxiety. Okay, I could see peace instead of this. There is nothing to fear. Light and joy and peace abide in me. God's peace and joy are mine. I rest in God. I am at home. Fear is the stranger here. I will be still an instant and go home. Remember, right below, what's your favorite? I will be still an instant and go home. I want the peace of God. The peace of God is shining in me now. I place the future in the hands of God. There is no peace except the peace of God. Peace to my mind, let all my thoughts be still. Now will I see and find the peace of God. Fear is not justified in any form. Fear is not justified in any form. I am in danger nowhere in the world. I like that one. I am in danger nowhere in the world. Your peace is with me, Father. I am safe. This day I choose to spend in perfect peace. Creation's gentleness is all I see. Isn't that beautiful? Creation's gentleness is all I see. The Course is training us to see things differently, right? Creation's gentleness is all I see. My heart is beating in the peace of God. My heart is beating in the peace of God. That's so beautiful too. Okay. Let all things be exactly as they are. Let all things be exactly as they are. The stillness of the peace of God is mine. Today belongs to love. Let me not fear. God's healing voice protects all things today. God's healing voice protects all things today. The hush of heaven holds my heart today. This is a day of stillness and of peace. I think I've done that one. I'll put the link to that one. This is a day of stillness and of peace. All fear is past and only love is here. There is a peace that Christ bestows on us. In fearlessness and love I spend today. Fear binds the world, forgiveness sets it free. Today the peace of God envelops me, and I forget all things except his love. I have no cause for anger or for fear, for you surround me, and in every need that I perceive, your grace suffices me. God's answer is some form of peace. All pain is healed, all misery replaced with joy, all prison doors are open, and all sin is understood as merely a mistake. And now we come to the end, lesson 360. Peace be to me, the Holy Son of God. Peace be to my brother who is one with me. Let all the world be blessed with peace through us. I don't know. I just thought it would be helpful. I've always kind of wanted to take certain lessons out of the Course that are super helpful and do something with them. So this is, I guess, the start of that. All the lessons that I feel like are really geared towards that can help when someone who is experiencing anxiety, especially the chronic anxiety. So God's answer, the last one I love, the second to last one, God's answer is some form of peace. All pain is healed and all misery replaced with joy. All prison doors are open and all sin is understood as merely a mistake. But God's answer is some form of peace. Just remembering that God's answer is always some form of peace. So that's the answer. Like if you're wondering what way should I be thinking about this, what thoughts should I believe? You know, if you are connected with the Holy Spirit, if you are listening to the voice of God, you're going to feel peaceful. That is the answer. It's super clear. That's the answer, right? So I love this. And I was just listening to something about non-reactive intelligence. I'll put the link below to these videos. They're so beautiful and peaceful, these videos about non-reactive intelligence. I can't remember the name of the channel right now, but he talked about, when I was listening to a video of him, he talks about putting your attention on the sky and not the storms. So if we think of our mind as a sky, you know, it's almost like this idea of watching the thoughts go by on a river. You know, you watch them go by. We can also think of it as a sky. So if we think of our mind as the sky and the thoughts that pass through are the storm, you know, and so any thoughts, especially distressing thoughts, they're just passing through, they're the storm. We want to put our attention on the sky, not the storm. And in his videos, he talks about not the intelligence of non-reaction, not reacting, right? I just talked about this with a client yesterday too, choosing a response, not reacting. That keeping our concentration on the sky will help us do that. Okay, so let's focus on the sky, not on the storms. And please, right below, if any of these lessons spoke to you, if any of them are something that you want to remember, make it your declaration to the universe, memorize it, write it down in your soul. I just watched something, or I just saw something about how you memorize the scripture so it's written in your soul, so you need it during those times, the times that you might forget it. So write it out. You're making this declaration to the universe and write it in your soul. Put it to memory, whatever one is your favorite. Okay. The other thing I wanted to say about being sensitive, about having anxiety, or it's not having anxiety, it's about experiencing anxiety, is that I really feel that I should have asked this question at the beginning too, because have you experienced anxiety or chronic anxiety? And then also, have you experienced the peace that passeth all understanding? And my guess is that those of us who have experienced chronic anxiety also have had a taste of the peace that passeth all understanding. right? Because that anxiety, well, it's like through the suffering, we're driven to that place. It's like that video I made on depression. The last video I made, I think it was about how it keeps us closer to God. Well, so does this, right? Because we're driven. If I hadn't had experienced chronic anxiety, depression, guilt, low self-esteem in my life, I don't know that I ever would have, why would have I needed this book? I would have just gone on living my happy life, but that's not how it went for me. This has helped keep me close to God. So I do believe that if we have experienced that chronic anxiety, we've also probably had a taste of the peace that passeth all understanding. We've probably also experienced a beautiful sunset or sunrise and have felt it in our soul, in our bones. We've probably also experienced the ocean, like feeling what it feels to be in nature and in a deep, deep way. So I hope this video was helpful today. I hope it helped you find that spiritual answer to the anxiety that you're experiencing. Remember, the spiritual answer is very light and simple and easy. This world tends to complicate everything. So go to the second place in your mind, go to the lighter place, go to the easier place. And that's your solution. It is possible to cultivate more positive emotions. It is possible to stay in this place of inner peace longer and longer and longer. Okay, so go ahead and subscribe if you want more videos like this about bringing the vertical into this world. I hope this was helpful, like I said, and peace and love, and I will see you next time.